What's up, John again, and today I'm going to teach you guys how to pick out your very first or just a new downhill skateboard or downhill longboard. Alright, so to start it off, I have three different types of boards here. I have a drop down board. This is an Evo 36. Other boards that would fit in this category are like a switchblade for sure, or a switch. Those two would be also drop down longboards. They are drop down because they drop down. It creates a big pocket and some basically places to put your feet and keep you down. This makes you lower to the ground. The next board I'm going to talk to you about is a normal top mount. This is a cheese grater. Other boards that would fit in this category would be the free dive or the Charlie horse is what I'm going to talk about right now with these. This is a traditional top mount. And the next category is going to be your tiny race board. So that's going to be your Obsidian, your small blind, your El Peligro. These are going to be meant for primarily racing. So to start it off, let's talk about these drop boards. These boards are typically going to have a longer wheelbase and they're going to have drops. Longer wheelbase means more stable, but they're going to be less turny. They're not going to turn as easy because the leverage is going to be really far away from each other, so you're not going to have leverage on your wheels to turn it really hard and really fast. So this kind of board is the one I would recommend for the brand new beginner. This board is going to be lower to the ground, less leverage on your wheels to turn, but they're going to initiate slides easier. So learning how to slide is going to be a little bit easier on a drop down board like an Evo or a switchblade. It's also going to be way more stable with it because it's so low to the ground. It's less room to wobble because you don't have weight over your wheels in trucks. So it's going to be easier and more stable. So beginners are really going to like this type of board. Good for downhilling. You're going to be really stable. Really technical courses, it's going to struggle. But straights, this is where this type of board exceeds the most. And yeah, you can still stand up slide them. They feel weird, but it's easy to learn on. But you can kind of hit like a point where getting to a different board is going to make you up your game. But you can definitely learn on this, and I'll drop some clips of me doing some stand-ups on this as well. Going all the way to the other side of the spectrum is the race board. This board is going to be notable for it being narrower, and like the Evo was 9.5975, cheese grater 9.5975. So with this one's a 9-inch or 9.25. It's usually these race boards are within 8.3 to 9 inches because they want to run narrower trucks. They also have short wheelbases. That gives you the most optimal grip. So they're not going to slide very easily. They're meant to want to grip those hard corners to get the fastest lines possible. So you typically ride these with the really narrow trucks. Those trucks are going to make it harder to slide but easier to grip hard corners. And you're going to want to run big wheels with these boards, big downhill wheels like cheetahs. because that's how you're going to get the most leverage over your wheels to get that grip out. So I wouldn't recommend this for a beginner. I know you see all the pros. You got Dan Hanna, Dexter Manning, Harry Clark. They're riding these race boards, and you're like, oh, I want to be like the best in the world right now. They're really hard to learn on. They're hard to get used to once you've been skating. So learning on it is going to be very difficult because, like I said, they're grippy. They're going to turn a lot. So if you're not even that comfortable on your board, you're going to really struggle with a board like this. But if you have been going for a while, you're comfortable on your board, and you want to take the next step, a race board is going to give you the fastest possible experience and give you the most technical board out there. So yeah, they're going to be narrower, shorter wheelbase. That doesn't mean they're less stable, but they are going to be grippier. So grippier setup, and not really for beginners. You can stand up slide them. I'll drop some clips on that. I'll drop clips of me riding this and like the small blind. But yeah, definitely for the experienced racer. Now let's talk about the middle ground. That would be the cheese grater type area. Cheese grater, Charlie horse, free dive, wolf shark. These boards are gonna be like kind of a mix between both. So this one in particular has tiny drops, similar to a Switchblade. It also has different wheelbase options. So you can get a wheelbase as short as the Obsidian's wheelbase with 22.5, or you can go pretty wide. Not as wide as the Evo, I don't think, but it gets pretty wide, and then you're gonna get that wide board feeling. So yeah, this board would be kind of like a mix between both. This is the one I ride the most. It's going to fit the normal wide trucks, which I'll get into on a next video, but yeah, you can pretty much do both of them. You can have that short wheelbase and get that grip, or you can put it on the long wheelbase and have that stability and easier time sliding. So yeah, this board is going to be, these boards are typically going to be in like the 34 to 37 inch range in length, whereas drop down boards are usually 38 to 42. Race boards usually don't go longer than 32 inches. So this is going to be like your middle ground. This is for, I would say, the intermediate person. You can, I'm not saying you can't learn on these. I learned on a board like this. So if you want something you can basically do all, and you don't want to be buying, like starting with your drop board and then moving to this one and then moving to the race. If you just want something that could do it all, you can't go wrong getting this type of middle board section, because you can, it's gonna grip. And then yeah, you can't run those tiny trucks, but if you put 155 Gen 6 Grizzlies and some Cheetahs, you're gonna get leverage. It's not gonna be as grippy and turn as well as, say, the Smokies, but they're gonna turn better than 180s. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this board. That's what I ride, and it's definitely the best of both worlds. I'll show you some stand-up clips on this board as well. that about wraps it up on this video on how to choose a deck. I'm gonna make another video going into trucks. This is gonna be like a little series helping you pick your longboard, your downhill board in particular, because it can be intimidating. I mean, there's different types and they all look completely different, and you may not know what's good for what. So I'm just gonna try to help you guys out, pick it out and all that. And yeah, hope to see you guys soon. I'm gonna try to keep this channel going. So have a good one.